Let's go.
One more day for you. One more day for you.
There is a full day of coaching activities today. So got to stay grounded, got to stay focused. But when the bell rings at 3 o'clock today, for those who know, I go 3 to 3. When that bell rings at 3 o'clock, I am shutting it down.
That's awesome. Good for you. Well deserved. Good morning, Casey Sherwin. Good morning to the whole Nudelberg Daily Huddle crew. And good morning to Shelby, because you and I got another great workout this morning. Hopefully you will become a regular at Aurora Station. I'm not going to be able to walk tomorrow, but it was a fantastic morning. Thank you.
Very, very cool. So you're giving shout outs. I'll give a shout out. Had dinner last night with Manish, who is the CEO of Peak Activity. We went up to Boynton, which is kind of a schlep for me, but really had a phenomenal time at Warren, which is an American whiskey bar. So we drank some whiskey last night. We talked business. We talked fun. Jake came with me. It was really a good time. So shout out to Manish and Mark Kruger, who came in from Utah, Salt Lake City, to join us. So that was great. So many good things going on. So much great stuff. They were enamored with the huddle, which was cool. So I hope they're here this morning. Happy birthday to Kitty McGowan. Kitty, who joins the huddle regularly. I don't know where she is, if she's coming in today. She's sleeping in because of her birthday. But when she
One more happy birthday today is Mike Gallagher, somebody else who is frequently in the huddle, and the Gallagher family are near and dear. So happy birthday to you, Mikey. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah, so Johnny Saturday night at Runway, which is so he's such an affable guy,
He's magnetic as well, and he's just very sweet. He's a sweet man.
So we have a hello from the Xanadu team.
Yeah,
that is the team that Howie Craw is running. So thanks for being in the huddle. Thanks for shouting it out. So it's a terrific Tuesday. Lots of good stuff going on. We got basketball. We got hockey. The Panthers last night. Talk about
squeaking it out.
Shay, what do you call them?
They are, so they've had a lot of comebacks this season. So they are the Cardiac Cats.
The Cardiac Cats. I like it.
It was, a test of strategy. 3 minutes left. They pull the goalie, they score, and then win it in overtime. That is a tough sport. I mean, their overtime is another full period.
Only in the playoffs. So during the season, they go 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, but in the playoffs, they go full. Like they don't.
I mean, regardless of what you guys are talking about, they are giant men on skates, knocking the shit out of each other, slapping a frozen piece of rubber with a wood stick. Like there's nothing soft about any of that.
Let me tell you something, man. There was a hit last night that guy's teeth were rearranged, man.
One of the guys got hit twice in the mouth by the puck.
There's Kitty. Good morning, Kitty.
Kitty. Happy birthday.
Have a great birthday.
We would play the music, but they shut us down because it's Beatles.
So let's do some wake up music and let's go.
Let's go.
I guess they don't.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, top of thinking ahead. Come on.
Casey Sherwin is
Fantastic.
Here's the thing. These human beings that are large and on skates don't make anywhere near the money that like baseball players make.
And just a quick hockey story. The only time I've ever been starstruck in my entire life, and mind you, we met Michael Jordan passing in a restaurant. Like I've been fortunate to meet some really, really high profile stars. The only time in my life where I was starstruck was we went to a Panther game. They were playing the Rangers. We went down into the locker room area after the game, and Mark Messier came walking up to us after the game, and I legitimately could not hear. Everything went silent, and I couldn't get any words out. I was in awe meeting Mark Messier, and just an absolute giant. I mean, these guys are so big, and then they get on skates, and they're even taller, and it's a great sport, great team sport, great dudes. But that was the only time I've ever been starstruck in my entire life.
It's kind of wild. We told the story last night about that running into Jordan and Ahmad Rashad at dinner.
Yes,
so.
That was a great
But
moment.
as a kid, you sat next to him often. That's where our seats were, right at the end of the bench there.
Yeah.
Joni Knight, we're on YouTube. I see it working on LinkedIn, so I don't know if it's you or if it's LinkedIn, but it's always on YouTube if you need. So we're on this thing about motivation. And, one of the things, I get asked all the time, hey, you're a motivational speaker, can you come in and motivate my team? And I tell them, I go, the reality is nobody can be motivated unless they choose to be motivated. I mean, it's an internal choice. And then if you want to be motivated, there's lots of hacks and lots of tools and reading and affirmations and all the things that I use. Today, we're going to focus on words, but I found this video that speaks to staying in the moment and not worrying about, what's going to happen. Because if you look at even the, Rich Strike, if they didn't stay in the moment, that they never realize it. So Shay, show me this motivational video.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. So what's happened along that process? You've learned to love the journey, right? You love the journey. Man, when you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect, right? Because it doesn't matter. At that point, I don't care if I can lift this much weight or run this fast. I mean, that's cool and it's great and I love it, but I don't love it as much as I love the journey. I love the journey. What does the journey consist of? Sucking at something, failing, getting better, learning, start a new journey, start it over, do it again. Oh, the journey now involves I'm aging. My joints hurt. How do I figure that out? Oh, the process. Here we go. And so when you fall in love with the journey, everything else takes care of itself.
It's all about the doing. It's all about time and time again, we talk about whether you call it the journey, whether you call it the process. It's about that loving the doing part of it. And if you don't love what you're doing or what you're being asked to do, it's almost impossible to be great at it.
So when he talks about the process and the journey and about aging, I have perspective. I've done it in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and now 60s. So, there's 5 decades I've been doing this. And the one thing that remains constant to me is one introduction can change the trajectory of my whole life. My day, my month, my career, everything can happen in that next introduction. And that can happen with me introducing somebody or someone being introduced to me. So I'm forever living in that process of just meeting people, not to sell them. It gets really complicated when you sell them, it's like, the whole idea is, then there's deliverables and there's all kinds of other shit, which, is still part of the journey. But if you really focus on, I wonder what's in the head of a Tom Brady who's standing there and just saying, he just must love throwing the football, I mean,
I don't even know that he loves throwing the football. He loves the preparation. He loves studying the film. He loves practicing. He loves the timing. There are so many minute details. And I go back to my coaching career and people are like, wow, you guys work 16-hour days every single day. I watch 5-6 hours a day because I love to watch it. I love to see what other people were doing, try to figure out how we could attack them, take some stuff from them, learn what they were doing, get ideas. Like the process that went involved in being a football coach, you love. And when you love it, it doesn't really matter. There's no time. It is what it is. And I think that's what he was talking about. Like milestones just happen on their own. Like when you love to get up and work out, you just get stronger and you just get faster and you start to do things a little better. And you're not getting those things because that's what you wanted to get to. You're getting those things because you love to get up every day and go give it all you have in the gym. So like that's really the mindset, the mentality of, look, if you don't really enjoy talking to people, you don't enjoy meeting people, if you're not, naturally, or you can't find a way to fall in love with being curious about other people, you have a hard time in sales. It's hard time in your life and doing that.
Right. Probably not the gig for you, so, understanding that it's always about the people will either surprise you or they'll disappoint you, but there's always that, that uniqueness. That's great. I mean, having dinner with Manish last night, I learned a lot about him and how he's grown his business and what the challenges were. And, so when I talk to other leaders, they're always talking about whatever sales training they've been in. They like constantly go to, well, we've done this kind of training, or Grant Cardone, or, Sandler, that Sandler comes up a lot. And I go, for me, there was never one thing that I just took it for gospel. I was like, you know what? Let me pluck this. When I heard Sandler years ago, the upfront contract idea was a doozy. It was like, let me put that in my shelf and let me kind of build my own, playlist. I think people are good at doing that, in Spotify and with their music. If you build your own playbook, you built your own playbook.
Yeah.
So that's part of the journey, is digesting shit and going, this doesn't feel good. I felt like for my whole career, I knew when somebody was using Sandler. It was so obvious. It was like, you come off the script now, It's okay.
Right. That's how I feel about scripts, and that's where, like, I had a really great time working with Jesse the other day in building out their sales process, right? Like really helping people have just an SOP, if you will. Okay. And I think it's important for people to understand that an SOP is not a script. You don't write the standard operating procedure for people to follow step by step and don't do anything else with. You have it as a guideline, and really talented people will take a guideline and absolutely explode from it, add their own creativity to it, and expand upon it. And people that aren't so creative or aren't as talented will use that guideline to help make themselves successful. But if you don't have that standard, if you don't have that baseline that you create for yourself, you create for others, that you create for whoever it is, it makes it really hard to move people in the right direction.
I love that. And that to me is part of the process, is learning, digesting. You didn't write a script for the whole game. You might have had a script for the first 3 plays, but you got to go with the game. You got to feel it. You got to know what's going on.
And even like for the players, so like I want to like give you just some insight into like on kickoff, right? So like guys run down the field and make a tackle, but there's a lot more schematics to that, right? There's a lot more tactical moves that go into that one play. But I would tell guys, here are your 3 options. You get this kind of block. You can cross his face, you can backdoor him, or you can run him over. I said, but if you choose anything other than this move, you better be right and get to the ball. So I'm giving you options. I'm giving you room to work, but I'm letting you know what the right move is. And if you do one of these others that could work, it's going to be risky. You better be right when you do it. And when you give people that freedom, you give them the barriers to then make their own decisions and be aggressive. That's how you help people be successful.
So, you talk about standard operating procedures. Those are become instinctive. I'm in the right place. I've been trained. I sort of know. And when I see it, and that's happening to me in boxing now. I've been trained so much. I can almost see him moving away that I can come underneath. And it's like, when I do it, I like step back and go, oh my God, that was great. So I promised you motivational words because I believe in words. How you speak to yourself is important. We'll get into some of these crazy words, some I never heard of, but they're great. But first, one of the greatest motivational songs. Wait till you hear this.
I know there's gonna be some brighter days. I swear that love will find you in your pain. I feel it in me like the beating of life in my veins. I know there's gonna be some brighter days. I know there's gonna be some brighter days. Oh, ashes fall from burning dreams. Oh, never lived through times like these. Oh, if you're trying hard to breathe in the dark, in the dark, I know there's gonna be some brighter days. Yes, I swear that love will find you in your pain. I feel it in me like the beating of life in my veins. I know there's gonna be some brighter days. I know there's gonna be some brighter days.
So that guy's name is Blessing Ofer.
That's a great name.
Yeah, make that up,
Right.
And he's a guy that in his mid-20s lost his eyesight. And,
Oh, wow.
And his writing and performing.
Singing, doing very well.
I think he did great. I love that.
Beautiful song.
So even if you just say to yourself in the morning, you get up and you say out loud, there's gonna be brighter days. It's so much different than the funk that comes out. So I don't know if you got a chance to look at the 15 motivational words you can adopt as your mantra. Do you have
I didn't look at any of them.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
So I have 2 words. It sounds like truck off.
I love it. I saw bulletin board material and I was like, all right, we're gonna talk about.
Well, so I wanted to start with this. Thank you. So this is good. We may not even get to the word. So Shay, show me bulletin board material. So I used this in my presentation when I went to speak to Midas. I pulled this because all the time people are writing shit on the bulletin board or in the locker room to whatever the other guy said, or whatever the numbers are, whatever the message is, to drive behavior. Messages drive behavior. So in a locker room setting, happens all the time. I believe you should have your own bulletin board material. That's what words are. That's what sayings are. I have a list. Shay and I just looked at it, 98 pages that I've created of just sayings and words and stuff that I'll just get into it and I'll pick a page, read it, and all of a sudden energize. So talk to me.
Which is, I think, the opposite of what that actually is that they're showing. Like that bulletin board material is taking what other people are saying, and it's like supposed to be motivation. And I took the opposite stance on that when I got into coaching. It was like, I don't give a shit what anybody else is saying. What are we saying about ourselves? How are we ensuring that we're attacking the day the right way? So I had terms like stack days. I had terms like attitudes are contagious. I had terms like win the now, like all of these things to remind the guys that it was Tuesday. We were practicing. It was 110 degrees outside. You had to go to class for fucking 4 hours. You broke up with your girlfriend. There's a lot of other things happening. But if we don't excel right now, there's no way we're going to win on Saturday. So taking everybody, forget about what George is saying about us. What are you going to do today to help us win on Saturday was the mentality that I tried. So I wanted all of the sayings to bring us back to that of what are we doing right now to be successful.
So the point of the words is you can control the narrative and say, here's my message. Here's my mantra. Here's what I'm going to focus on. Where focus goes, energy flows. That's one you can remember. So just a couple that jump out at me, catalyst. If you are a catalyst, it's a person or a thing that precipitates an event. Something's happening out there. There's an event. This science-minded word refers to a substance that increases the rate of the chemical reaction. I dig that.
Love it.
There's a chemical reaction.
I
When
love
you
that.
win, winning is chemical, man. It's like, It's unbelievable. So words like that, you can use in your title.
Yep.
You can use in your about section on LinkedIn, but you inform me, wow, okay, this is how you think about yourself. This is how you feed yourself. Another one is actualize, which you can use visualize or actualize, but it's a verb that's making a reality of it. Here's what we're thinking. Now I'm going to actualize it. I'm going to get out there and, success is in your grasp when you focus on this impressive word.
Yep.
Pretty amazing. You have anything?
3 favorite words, and I actually wrote about them today: disciplined, consistent, persistent. Right? Any of those 3 words, because that to me, like in the gym this morning, it's a 40-second set, and you're at 20 seconds. Discipline to stay in the exercise and not quit early. Persistent to fight through the feeling of wanting to stop. So, those are 3 words. You put them right in front of your face when the alarm goes off. You have a hard time getting up early because you're not a morning person. How about persistence? How about consistent? You did it yesterday. Do it again today. One more day, one more time. I love my word for the year was, addition or the plus sign. Just a reminder of adding. What am I adding today? How am I doing a little bit more? How am I getting that extra 1%? That's the word or the reminder.
So we were out with Mark and Manish last night, and Mark was talking about getting 2% better every day. And I go, I can't keep the pace, bro. Right. Holy cow. It's but there's some of these words I've never even heard of, really, like rectitude,
I don't know.
morally correct behavior or thinking, righteousness. So being righteous, is certainly in line with how you train your brain. How about this one? Probity, Probity, the quality of having strong moral principles, honesty, and decency.
I love it.
You know what? I mean, when you think about the qualities that really make somebody special, that genuine authenticness, you take that to probity, so I know we're at time. I'm going to say farewell. I got an extended time off. I won't
have a great vacation. I'm sure that the numbers will suffer because everybody knows that you won't be here, but we'll still be here. Jake will be here. We'll have some guests coming up over the next week or so, and enjoy your time. Keep us updated.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Be well.
Thank you.
Kill it in May. I'll see you on the 23rd.
See you later.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get